It's kind of hard to talk when you don't know what you want to talk about. And I guess it also makes it difficult when you know that you may show this to people someday and that your parents, whom you live with, may walk across the house to this bathroom that is next to your room and hear you and, think things that are, if you even care what they think. But I think I do. I react, well, not react, I act based on how I feel I risk being perceived. And I think that that's not good, but I also think that that's necessary because without that we wouldn't have standards. We wouldn't be able to determine good and bad, quality versus low quality, I guess, high quality versus low quality, because that is not really, when you say quality, you just think like, oh, good quality, but it could be bad quality, I guess. But figured, since I don't know what I'm ever doing, I just talk about it, and maybe learn what I want to be doing, or what I am doing. I know what I'm not doing is making art that I want to make. I have ideas in my head of things that I would like to do, but, you have to follow guidelines in your courses at your art schools, whatever that may be. And the thing about that is, actually, I'm thinking a lot lately about what am I doing, why am I doing it. There's not really, I don't have a goal anymore. I used to want to be a biomedical illustrator because science was so fascinating and because I like to draw. Now what am I? I'm a digital artist. That didn't even exist like a couple of decades ago. You couldn't just say you were a digital artist, you were just an artist. Not even, you probably weren't even regarded to as an artist. Who knows? Definitions are so stupid. I sit in art history and I hear them trying to define these different art terms and I don't even get why we do it. I don't get the point in classifying art. And I understand studying it and all because, we load images with meaning over time just by making them and referring to them, but I also think that if you're going to make images and they end up having to be a reflection of your time, then why do you need to, go in depth as much as you do in these art history courses to learn about it? And it's not like we grow up in a world that's like, well, maybe we used to, but not anymore. We don't grow up in a world made for us to, just sit down and listen to a lecture and be okay with it. And, now we have all these disorders. And I think they're real. I know a lot of people will disagree with them, and I know that a lot of people are against the drugs that we produce to, counteract their effects on us psychologically and what have you. But, they don't understand that we're growing up in a different world now, and, you know, like, I can't sit through a lecture and be content with, you know, just listening to something that's been predetermined when I could be interacting with the world through various devices, you know, texting or FaceTiming or instant messaging or, you know, even like playing a game, a computer game or a cell phone game. I don't, like, you give us this fast-paced, intense world fully loaded with content. I mean, I'm watching like 4 screens all day, every day. The only break I get is driving, and driving is just as intensive on your senses. Probably more because, you know, you're not safe in your little still bubble of your desk or wherever you're sitting and just looking at your screens and interacting with the screens and then giving you feedback. And I don't know, I don't think it's important that I don't even know how to word this. I guess what I'm feeling right now is just doubt. Is it really? I do what I have to do, not what I want to do. And I know that, you know, sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do, but why? You know, you live once and you die and that's it. And I know there's debate about that or whatever, but you can't convince me that this lifetime should be lived how others decide it should be lived. I'm an atheist, and I know, well, to my knowledge, I know that I don't have much time to do what I want to do, and, you know, I'll watch a film. I watched Hunger Games tonight, and she's doing archery, and when am I going to learn archery? When I was young, I thought I have time to do whatever I want, whenever I want, and I'll be able to do that forever. But now I'm looking at it like, well, I can't do archery, because if I did that, that would take from other things I'm doing right now, and also, you should probably start young. What's difficult for me when it comes to making art now is the fact that I have no idea what I want to say anymore. I used to have ideas about how I wanted to portray my world, and I thought I was onto something with my film project this year, not even this year, this semester, when I learned how to data mosh using Quartz Composer on my MacBook. The frame rate is extremely low, and I'm sure the technology will be here in a couple years so that it's, you know, at least 30 frames per second. Right now, high quality, you might get 5 frames per second, but that's lucky, and there's a lot of stutter, and sometimes it just hangs, and like you have to go in and edit frame by frame afterwards. And I mean, that's cool, whatever. I don't mind doing tedious things to make stuff look good, but what I do mind is that I don't know why I'm doing it anymore. I'm just doing it. I'm just, you know, I have projects, and people tell me like, oh, that's cool that you did this, and I go, that was okay, and then I do more of it, but I don't know why I'm doing things. I don't even, what I'm working on now, I don't have any attachment to it all. If my computer crashed tomorrow and reset all my data, I would feel relieved, and partially because it's an excuse not to do things, just start over, like, sorry that I didn't finish my computer hard drive worked out. What should I do, and teachers are understanding and stuff, but, oh, horrible life. But most of the relief would be good. Now I'm not bogged down by all these prior commitments I made without even thinking. I should rethink all my projects tonight and just do it. I'm up all night, every night anyways, and I don't like what I'm doing. I'm full of regret all night. I think about how much I wasted my day, think about how much I could change, I could be different in conversation, I could actually tell people how I feel or what I think instead of just saying the defaults. How was your day? Oh, good. How was yours? Oh, that's good. I really care. I don't not care. So, I do care, basically. But I don't want to have that conversation with you. I don't want to have small talk. Small talk is so... I don't feel human when I do that. I just feel like a robot that's just oh shit, what do I say? Oh yeah, that. And then I say it, and it's every day, and it's to everyone. And you think someone understands you, and you start to tell them how you really feel. I can't do it. Why am I so concerned with how people think of me? I should just be me and let them choose if they want to hang out with me or be part of my life. I'm so worried that my parents are right outside the door listening. Why? Do they not know me that much? I have to figure this. They shouldn't. If they have questions, they should be able to ask them. Why are you talking to your camera at 5 in the morning? What are you saying that you feel like a robot all day for? I should be able to talk to them, but I can't. Things don't click with them. They don't understand like I do. They don't think like I do. And I know a lot of that's oh, you grow up differently or whatever the fuck, but it really bums me out that I can't even talk to my parents about things I want to. My stepmom got home today and I talked to her about how my grandma bought us speakers and how they're awesome for our computer, and I had to explain why I moved the keyboard and things that do not matter that I don't even care about. Why am I telling you? Yes, I love the speakers and I know that they're going to be very useful for what I'm doing on the desktop while I have my laptop next to it, but you do not care. You never go. You play on your phone. That's how you Facebook now, and you don't even use a computer except for taxes, and you can't even. You use Internet Explorer. I hate Internet Explorer. You should only be able to find Chrome. How do you find Internet Explorer? And it's got so many toolbars and weird shit on it already, and I don't understand when that happened or how that happened. And I knew that she'd be excited that her sister got this little box, I think it's called Roku, and it streams things wirelessly to your TV, and I told her about the Fox channel. Why does she care? Because it's Fox, and I know she cares about Fox, and I hate Fox. I'm so not a Fox fan. Cleveland's Fox 8. Like, that's the local is so much more bearable than the network itself. It's just, and I'm afraid that that's me being, you know, a mirror of everyone else I hang out or who I want to, who I aspire to be. I have this idea in my head of who I am, but it's not who I am at all. And I'm like, why the fuck do I do this? And I'm like, so, I want to be like how I think I am, but I know I'm not. And I know how I come off to people. I'm like the saddest, quietest human on earth. You know, I want to be approachable. I want people to talk to me so like I can have conversations and learn things and be a human, but I can't. Like, I'm a huge supporter of the Socratic method, and if I ever become a professor, like I tell people I'm going to be, then I want to teach like that. But how do you? I can't even do that myself. Like, the teachers want conversation, and no one talks. No one talks. No one does the readings. No one pays attention. They sit on their fucking laptops and they just do not care. And, you know, I'm on my laptop too. I can't focus either. I'm not saying I'm innocent. I'm just sick of it. And I don't think that the past was any better because of what they focused on, the things that they were talking about, the ideas they were talking about. Sure, some were compelling, but I feel like now is the best time for conversation about anything. Of course it is. Like, even now, it's better than the 3 seconds ago. And I want to be a part of the conversation, but I'm not confident enough in my own knowledge to even, like, pretend to have an answer to anything that my teachers ask. Even if it's a basic question that I do know that I know the answer to, I won't say anything because I'm afraid to be wrong. Why? When someone's wrong, it's not even a big deal in my classes. It's like frowned upon to be. No, it's not. It's not even frowned upon to be a good student. Why does no one do it? It's so rewarding to actually learn. See, if I do that though, then I lose complete focus of what's going on. If I, you know, start doing all my projects the day I get them assigned, where's the time to think? Not that I have much anyways, but where's the time to think? You know, and if I read everything, if I did literally everything that our teachers expect us to do, I don't think I'd even be me. I would just be a robot that's just repeating what everyone is telling me to understand or whatever. Like, I'm reading all these articles about digital art in my art history class right now, and it's interesting to me because, you know, I like computers and I think it's amazing how we can manipulate electricity to do whatever the fuck we want, and yet we barely understand it completely. But, you know, there's so many, like, why is this important? Why should I agree with what this professor says versus this doctorate, whatever the fuck degree you have? And, like, we all have our opinions, I understand that, but I don't understand why I'm, like, reading other people's opinions, because they do inform mine. Like, if, like, during critiques, people usually say, oh, I really like it, it's really awesome, blah, blah. Well, this year, it's different, because I'm in a whole new realm, and people are playing with their devices all the time, and, you know, they're really not good, but, like, they think that they're good at what they're doing. See, who am I to say that? But I don't do that. Like my film work, I film once, and I try and make that work. And the ideas I have in my head of how I want it to appear, the color, and just the tone, I never ever achieve it. I don't know how. And you can't ask your professors because they don't know how either. They don't know what you're thinking. And you literally have to play with things for hours upon hours, and I can do that and all, but then I feel guilty the whole time thinking about other things I'm supposed to be doing. This week alone, well no, I guess the past 2 weeks. Last week I had to do a slideshow for my stepmom's sister, my step-aunt, and for her birthday, her surprise party that was on this past Sunday, and it literally took me over 19 hours to scan 400 images, to first crop them and then to format them to be the proper, I made individual frames with the presets in Photoshop, individual frames with a black backdrop, and you just throw the image on in the little safety zones, and that fucking took forever, and reorganizing them every time. My stepmom changed her mind about how she wanted something, and she wanted this image, this group of images to start at the end of this song, and I knew that she knew I could do it, so I couldn't say no, but now I'm feeling like, why didn't I say no? I've neglected all my projects for school for that shit, and what did I get out of it? What did I get? I'm not satisfied with it. I hate it. I could have done so much better. But I didn't have the time, because I had to do other things. I had to do my note-taking, which I still haven't done for 2 weeks. That's my job on my campus, work-study, and I didn't even do it, because I don't have time. That's what I tell myself. I need time to just unwind and think. I need time to do things, but I don't have it, so I try to supplement with a Facebook game. I play Marvel Avengers Alliance for 20-minute bursts all throughout the day, while I'm working on other things, while I'm rendering this, while I'm whatever I'm doing. And that's crazy, because that's a lot of time. I spend too much time doing stupid shit, and sometimes I get in these loops where I go Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and I'm checking my notifications, and I don't know why I want to be notified about people, whatever, interacting. No one wants to interact with me anyways. I post news articles about things that no one wants to talk about. I post pictures of things that I find awesome, and some people will like it or whatever, but what is the point in all that, I'm not shaping anyone's views. I'm not. I'm reinforcing if other people have my views that I used to think I was a fucking boss at making friends on the internet, but I'm not even like that anymore. The internet's changed, even since social networking started, since I've been on social networks, since I've gotten to Facebook, things have changed so much. You try and talk to people the same way, it's weird, it's like people grow up with this shit now so well that it's so well, so young. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. People nowadays it's just another thing, and to me it was a realm of possibility how to communicate with people without having to talk to them. I can't talk to people in real life without feeling like I'm lying, it's not real, this is just fabricated shit pouring out of my mouth into your ears so that you can fabricate shit, spit it back at me, and that's a conversation. But it's not. It's me not being human and you not being human, because we're too busy to be human. We have other shit to do. In a way I'm excited for when we work all the kinks out of technology integrating itself with our lives. Like, I'm talking to a camera on a little baby tripod right now, and, you know, it works, but, and I used to do it on a laptop, but I can't do it on a laptop anymore, because there's, like, the glowing MacBook keyboard, and there's, like, you know, shit popping up in the corner telling me someone just tweeted at me or whatever. I think that's why I can only work at night. I don't have any of that shit going on, you know. No one's talking at night anymore. What? No one's talking at night. Because they're all sleeping, because they're normal. And I can't sleep at night. It's like 5:30 now, I think. Oh no, it's not even 5. It's 4:56 right now. AM. Also, I'm a big advocate of military time. I think that makes way more sense, and I think that the metric system should be adopted, and I don't know what the fuck we're doing, because that would just encourage so many people to, like, pursue careers in science and technology and math and what have you. But I don't know. I wait till the world's sleeping so I can do what I need to do. And I don't even do what I need to do. That's the fucked up part. I watch Netflix. I watch that fucking Netflix all night, and simultaneously I'm texting people, and sometimes one person will call me Nooria right now, and I'm like texting, and I'm like trying to be funny tweeting, and I know I'm not, and I just continue to do it, and I don't know why. I try to like make them so that the world will laugh at them. Like, how does everyone else think? Okay, I'll try and say something, but I can't do that. I'm not like that. I don't know why I'm lying to myself. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I need to make art that I want to make, and I need to do things. That's my fucking job, to make art. I don't even do that. I make things that people call art. I don't think it's art. I don't care about it. If you told me that, oh my god, I already said that. That's so weird. You know, I'm like, I can't believe that everyone I know, when I was younger, all my friends wanted to do different things, and they didn't understand how anyone could become an artist for a living. I didn't either, actually. I was just like, so how does this work? Like, you make paintings and you have to sell them or else you're poor? But there's like a lot of art related jobs or whatever, and all my friends want to do artwork now. They want to do film. Danielle wants to do film. She was in school, pre-med. She still is, I think, or maybe she's for psych now. She's at Ohio State. She wants to, her dream is to drop out and go to a film school and make videos. She made her first video last week for a project, and, you know, it was really good for, you know, first project. Like, it was like shit that we were doing for our finals freshman year last year in art school. But I think that's because we're all lazy as fuck and we don't want to do anything at art school, that is. But, you know, and Gabi wants to be an artist now. Angelo, who wanted to be something computer, which I know does not have the patience for, he wants to be a designer now. And I watch him hate design all the time. He like talks about how frustrating it is and how he hates desktop publishing and shit. Like, I hate design. I couldn't do it. I like things that other people think is bad design, and, you know, whatever. But how are you supposed to, like, why do you want to be a designer? Why don't you do whatever else you want to do? Like, my cousin Matt is like one of the few people who I think gets it. Like, he wants to be I guess a biology engineer, a biological engineer. I don't know how you'd word that. he wants to do that. And he was voted most artistic in his whole entire high school for his superlatives this year. He doesn't even have an art class this year. You know, he gets it. We should be doing things that matter. Not that art doesn't matter, I'll get back to that. But he's doing something that matters. That, not that this is important, he's gonna make a lot of fucking money doing. And he does art on the side. And he's really good. And his ideas are good because he thinks about them. And he has such a good memory too. And you know what I have? I have my little drops. I can't even talk. My little periods of depression that enable me to work. I get so sad and emotional that I need to make something to feel better, and that's when I can do things. And since I've been in art school, the last emotional piece I made was my drawing 2 class last year, where I drew Amelia stabbing me. And she thought I was weird, and she didn't understand it, and I'm sure she doesn't even think about it. She doesn't think about me anymore, I don't think, and that's a big problem for me, because she was the only person I actually loved. But that was the last piece that I actually felt connected to. You know, I made one called She. It was a video, and it was of Molly just going through different emotions, and the critique ruined my life. And it wasn't a harsh critique. They were just why don't you have it silent? And I was just, there's a giggle that she does, and it's that was what made it enjoyable. But then I realized no one else thinks of Molly like that. Well, didn't at the time. I don't think of her like that anymore. I realized that I fucked up so bad dumping Amelia for her. Not that Molly's not a bad person. Or not that Molly isn't a good person. I'm so tired. But I would have been happier. I would have been more creative. I would have been doing things I like, I think, if I was still with Amelia. Because she made me happy, and we never argued, never had any problems, and I honestly need, a girl there to stop me from my insane thoughts of what's the point, why am I alive, why don't I just slit my wrist right now and kill myself. And there's been times being single, I'm single right now, and there's been times where I've been so close. I have a stack of razors just sitting here for art. I've never used them before for art. And I haven't done it because I've told myself, you know how pissed off I'd be if one of my family members did that? That's what I think. And I go, okay, well, I don't want to piss them off. It's not their life. Yeah, I affect them, and yeah, they'll be sad. And, maybe a few of them won't get over it, but if I don't want to be here, I shouldn't have to be here. I didn't ask to be here. But I guess living is better than not living. Even getting a chance. Even the first and last breath of a newborn is better than none at all. Because you know how far they got from just being little tiny molecules of food digested by their parents, converted into haploid cells. Fucking crazy. But people overlook that shit. They don't care. Sex is sex. It feels good, right? That's what we're supposed to do. I can't find a meaning to life anymore. I don't. Now we know the fucking clock. It's fucking giving me more pressure. Life. we give it meaning. It's primarily we survive and we reproduce, and that's what we do. Why, though, is the big question. And no one can answer that. I think I can. And I think it's just whatever you decide you're living for is good enough. If you're living because you have something to prove, or you want to get revenge, or, because you believe that if you don't try and survive and reproduce, then you're going to burn up in eternity in fire and brimstone in the form of a lake of some sort, then by all means do that. But I have trouble deciding if that really matters. If it matters that I am here in existence. I know it matters to people that know me, but when I die, who's gonna really care in like 20 years? My grandparents will all be dead. My sister, if she hasn't killed herself already, will probably be moving out of her life. And what left? The Sundays, they will overreact to my death, but they won't really care until later. But probably, my mom especially will probably just use it as a sympathy thing, kind of like how I did when Samantha, my younger sister, tried to slit her throat or whatever last week. I hear that, and most people would be upset and want to visit her at the hospital and go, why did you do this? I got pissed, because I feel like she uses that shit as a way to get what she wants, and that's not cool with me. I'm like trying to figure out what I'm even doing here. I'm staying here being strong for my relatives, because I don't have a girl right now to be here for. So I'm here for my relatives, and I would be so pissed if she fucking actually was succeeded in that shit. Who the fuck? And, like, I was on Zoloft for, like a year, and it worked well. It made me not be sad, but it also drained my life of emotions. I didn't care about anything. I got work done, that was good, but didn't care if I did or not. I just did it because I was told to, and, I had the ability to. But what's interesting about getting off of it is you don't remember what it's like to have such intense feelings, such as anger and lust and the extreme depression that you reach every single night when you're up too late. And that coming back into my life after, like the week of diarrhea and bloody noses, and, like vomiting and shit. You get back into like this weird realm of like, okay, cool, I'm not relying on a substance, because my parents hate substances, and, if they don't want you relying on something else to deal with reality, even though they're fucking drinking every night and smoking and whatever. I don't want to hear that shit. Don't fucking tell me that I can't take shit to deal with life when you're fucking doing the same thing, but it's casual because everyone does it. Whatever, fuck you. But, I kind of miss it, but not for the right reasons. I don't miss it because it made life bearable, because, I can be depressed all the time, I don't give a fuck. It actually makes me feel alive when I have intense feelings, and for some reason the only ones that I really ever feel are depression. And I know that everyone says that they have that or whatever, but they probably do. A lot of people are probably way more depressed than you think they are, because they have to live in this world wondering what they're doing, and we don't have a good answer. And but I miss it because I got the shit done that I needed to get done, and I didn't feel guilty all night thinking, or, like drawing on something else, or, typing someone else's fucking homework for them because they know that I'm good at writing. I don't think I'm good at writing. I really don't. I think, like, I can be interesting, but I don't think that I'm a good writer compared to other people. Anyways, they will have me do their homework, and I put that before everyone else, or everything else that I have to do, not everyone else. And that's not okay. Last night I stayed up all night making a logo for someone. They gave me a really shitty, like, maybe 65 kilobyte file of a mouth with like a smiley piercing, and they wanted it done on the computer, and they wanted it less scratchy because it was like crosshatched, and like, okay. And I thought it'd be easy, but it was fucking difficult because not only can I not just draw freehand anymore, I mean I can, but like I can't draw what I'm looking at anymore unless I fucking spend hours and it's a giant piece of paper. But I also have a horrible time trying to make each fucking individual line on Illustrator, like, slowly, and like you adjust this handle and then this handle and then place another anchor and then this handle. And like, the first thing I think is, oh, they have technology for that, I'll just buy a fucking bamboo tablet and then I'll be fine. No. Practice drawing, dumbass. Or, this thing keeps shutting off, and I feel like my image quality is too low to like be appreciated, so I can't even make good films with it. Not that I make films, I don't even make films, I make things for film classes. But the first thing I think is, I should buy a new camera, that'd be better. No. Learn how to fucking film. Learn how to make interesting stories. Learn how to see what the camera would see. I think this generation sucks to be in because we're missing out on a lot of the foundation of what's going on, and we're just making shit. Who's to say what shit? But we live in this weird society where everyone wins, and oh, that's good. Yeah, just keep trying, practice. No, if you suck at soccer, don't fucking join the soccer team, and you should be allowed to be rejected. And if you suck at art, you should be allowed to be rejected from art school. Not everyone should have an Instagram. I learned that the hard way. I go down my fucking Instagram feed, and it's like my sister posting those some EE cards, whatever. And they're like user ones, so they're shitty, and oh my god, it's a nightmare. And you're bombarded with that all day. Every single feed for every single social network is just stupid shit that everyone makes, because they all can make things now. Like, Jimmy, my friend Jimmy, was telling me that, this dude from his work, he still works landscaping for Bedford, he told me that he wanted, like, Illustrator and the Adobe Suite, basically, to, like, make logos and shit, and Jimmy's like, I can torrent it for you, but, you gotta install it yourself, and you have to, like, know how to use it. Do you know how to use it? And the dude was just like, oh, I'll figure it out. Well, I guess he makes shitty logos now, because he doesn't know how to fucking do it, and, of course practice makes perfect, or whatever, but the ability to just jump into these programs now is scary, because, like, part of the philosophy behind my major is, like, jump into things without knowing what you're doing and figure out how to make them better. But that works for creative people, not everyone. And I'm not saying everyone's not creative in their own way, or at all, but there comes a point where you need to realize that maybe you shouldn't be making little 6-second Vine videos to make the world stupid, and maybe you shouldn't be reposting advertisements for this dance club later on Instagram, and maybe you shouldn't be inviting me to events when you lose my phone number. Just fucking ask me for my phone number. And maybe you shouldn't be like inviting me to like DJ whoever the fuck's new hip hop blah blah blah, and you're like some college kid with a MacBook plugged into a nice speaker system. What? Like, I want to make music. I don't though, because I don't know how yet, and I'm like signed up for classes to do it. But that's how they make music. I might have to learn that way. But at the same time, I don't want to just jump into that shit. I don't know what I'm doing. And when people get mad, not when, people do get mad. When you're like making music on GarageBand and they're like, oh, this is cool, what'd you use? What's your tempo and shit? And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, it's just 120 beats, just like the standard, and I use GarageBand, and they instantly are just like, what? Like, why are you using GarageBand? You're just playing around. Dude, I want to make good music. I can't, because I don't know how yet, and that doesn't help when you're being a dick about it. In my sound art class now, I went through a crit, and I hated how my sound sounded, because I use a huge speaker system instead of my headphones. I didn't even listen to it outside headphones. I don't know why I didn't. Probably because I did it like the night before each class consecutively for like 4 weeks. So like I was tired as fuck, and I'm just like making whatever. And everyone was just like, oh, it's interesting, but I don't know what the fuck was going on. And I agreed. It was like really insane and made no sense after hearing it that way. And like even listening to it in other headphones didn't make sense. And like I had to use an electronic sound in it, and most of it was just like a beat made from sampled sounds, and I liked that one. But like they're like asking me these technical questions that, how the fuck am I supposed to know, dude? I just started. And they're like, was there did you use the locking whatever the fuck? And I'm like, you mean like snapping? No, not that. Did you use the locking blah blah blah? Did you have this option clicked? And it's like, why do you care? What is that gonna like change about how you feel about this? Tell me what I can do to improve. Don't tell me, like, it was like he was showing off that he knows how to work a sound program, and that he's been playing keyboard since he was a young lad. And Evan too, he was like, oh, this is my favorite piece by you so far. There's so much potential for blah blah blah. And really it felt like he was saying like, I'm awesome at sound, and I want to let you know that I am familiar with what you're doing, because I used to do stuff like that, and blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, well, we're not evolving in the same direction. I'm not trying to be you. I don't particularly care to sound like what you sound like. I just like the math behind editing music. I think it's beautiful that digital music is so precise, but I hate that it follows the same formulas for every song now. And dubstep, everyone makes dubstep, and like people are like already starting to try and like get out of that, but like there's still like this like weird attraction to like these weird grungy bass noises that we're all like totally for. And it doesn't bother us all the time, but when you hear the same song, it's like soft beginning, and then like build up, and then like 4th note, 8th note, 16th note, and then drop, and then crazy ass bass for like half the chorus, and then go back into like the regular whatever. But that's every song. That is every single song. I've never heard a dubstep song that wasn't that. Except maybe there's like this fucking Christmas dubstep song, and it was just like Santa saying ho ho ho, and they remixed it to be to a beat, and he likes his bass dirty or whatever the fuck. It's become this weird fetish fad that everyone knows about and has to do with. The older generations hate it, so we love it. And, you know, I'm not even interested in that anymore. I want to go beyond that, but I don't even know how to go beyond that. How do you go beyond that? We don't even know how to make that. Like, I downloaded a plugin for, like, editing music, and I have no idea how to work it, and I can't even, like, open up Logic Pro to do anything with it, because I don't know how to fucking even make a MIDI note. I don't know how to bring up the virtual keyboard. I don't know how to do any of that. So I do it in GarageBand, import it into this, and you know what's sad? I haven't done it for like 4 weeks, maybe 5, because I don't have time. I don't have time. And, you know, I'm taking 18 credit hours. We only need to take 12 to be legally, like, a full-time student. But, you know, it's two different worlds. You, like, go to liberal arts and you're, like, being told how to think and how to feel and all this shit, like, all the background info behind each icon that you're using. And this guy says this, but this guy says this, and you can disagree. You can't really disagree, because when you're getting critiques, they're going to talk about that. They're going to be like, oh, well, what about this guy that did this? And I go, I was disregarding that, because I don't feel that that's important to this piece. It's not really related. And they go, well, you can't just ignore the fact that that piece exists. And yes, I can, because if I didn't know about it, or if I wasn't referring to it, why the fuck does it matter? I don't care. I don't care if someone already did something like this, or if someone did something similar to this with a different meaning. That's not what I'm doing, and it shouldn't apply. And, like, I don't know what I hear right now. I just don't know what I'm doing anymore, and it sucks. And, like, I just wish